All right, g'day, hi, and welcome. Already out of breath. All right, let me introduce you to my wheelie barrel. This is the Trapping 101 barrel. It's old, it's creaky. Had it for a long time. This is my beaver hearse right now, because I don't have a toboggan. So hopefully I'll catch 1 to 3 beavers today. And yeah, it's packed enough that I can get this rickety old thing. I got a bulge in the tire too, back there. Make life a little bit easier for myself. But I gotta get a toboggan really badly. Very nice day, nice and sunny. Sun hasn't been out for a better part of a week, I don't think. So this is kind of nice. It's right around 0. It's gonna be a bit mild for the next couple of days. Not too bad. I don't want to get too mild because I'm out on the ice, eh? So yeah, I just wanted to show you a nice sunny day. Vitamin D. I'm not even to where I need to be, and I'm already out of breath. One thing about trapping and stuff like that is the first couple of weeks you're just completely fatigued all the time, because it's like it's a different type of work, especially when you're doing everything on foot like I'm doing. It's like, it's good exercise. There's no doubt about that. But your hip gets sore, your feet get sore, your hands get sore, your back gets sore. Oh yeah, it's definitely whatever. But once you get through that kind of like 2 or 3 weeks of it, it seems like you're starting to toughen up, right? Like an old leather boot. And seems like you kind of get your second wind. So for those of you that are new into trapping or whatever, it is very physically demanding in a different way. It's not like ditch digging or something like that kind of physically demanding. It's more of like I think more like a marathon than a sprint, that you're just wearing yourself down over time, especially when you catch heavy beavers and whatever, and you got to haul them out of the bush by hand type of thing, drag them, whatever. The reason why I got the wheelbarrow too and not dragging them is that when the ground kind of packs and freezes like this, the ground's too rough to drag them, and I don't want to wreck the pelt. But if it's soft snow, they just pull like you don't need a sleigh almost, right? But right now, when the ground's hard, I think I'm going to stick with the wheelbarrow. But yeah, it's extra labor. You know, it's extra labor. So yeah, I still got to track down myself a good toboggan. Now I was thinking of building myself a sleigh with some old skis I have. Problem is just getting around to doing it. It's like all this stuff, like I say, the stuff you should have built before the season starts, because you just don't have time to build it during the season. I mean, it's not just trapping that I do a bunch of other things too, right? So it is like my 4th or 5th job today of things getting done, right? So it really does chew up your day really quickly, which makes the winter go fast, which is nice. And every time I catch fur is a payday, so that's good too. And I'm going to be going till the end of January. By the time you see this, I mean, today is like December 28th. If you haven't picked up on my videos, that, you know, they're usually about a month from when I film them, because it takes so long to upload everything, and you know, I can't put them all out in one day, or else you guys get like 30 videos in one day type of thing. There's lots of content and stuff like that, but yeah, that's kind of how I'm doing it. And if you have to do it the hard way on the ground level, the good news is, like I say, is that, you know, it does make the winter go fast. It does put you in good shape for the summer, that's for sure. Yes, I still do work out. On top of that, just my workouts are a little more laxed because I'm doing it, like, again, the idea is not to totally wear myself out, right? So the biggest part of trapping is psychological, because if your first beaver was the beaver I caught, my first beaver of the season, it could make a man quit, or an otter or something like that, because it is very overwhelming to deal with these animals, especially a 62-pound beaver. Not the biggest beaver I've ever caught. I think 84 pounds is my record for me. But when you catch something that big, it's a daunting task to deal with them. So like skin them and flesh them and all that. It's just, it's like you sit there psychologically freaking out going, what did I get myself into, right? But when you learn how to pace yourself with it, everything works out of pace. There's only so much you can manage. There's only so many hours in a day. Just find out what your flow is and work from there. Don't set unrealistic goals in your first few seasons. My goals this season are not really that high, to be honest with you. But if I was in go mode, I would probably set a goal of 150 beavers. Yeah, 150 beavers minimum. And I would set a goal of maybe 30 otters, 50 otters, and everything else would just be whatever. You know, that would be my go. You know, everything's ready to go. And I could do that on a dozen traps. In my case, 8 traps or 6 traps. I could accomplish that, but I would have to really strategically plan out my seasons and have everything ready to go. And if I did, then next year, that's what I'll do. But this year, I'm just going with the flow. If I catch something, I catch something. If I don't, I don't. But if I'm not catching something, I have to step up my game to catch stuff. So right now, I got a good flow going. And I'm hoping that I'll catch like 1 to 3 beavers today. But even if I only catch 1 beaver a day or 1 beaver every couple of days, if you catch 4 beavers a week and you're a noob at this, trust me, that is an overwhelming amount of work. And if you're working another job on top of that, yeah, you'll quit. You'll quit. This is a job that it's a craftsmanship job, requires time, right? So I just thought I'd make a video about that. And yeah, so I'm almost back to I guess I'll check these guys first. I should check the other place first, but yeah, I kind of did this backwards. But anyway, I just wanted to kind of start making videos of what you get yourself into anyway, because it's a neat job. It's cool to be self-employed, but it's a very devastating job when you're not catching furs. Like every day you don't catch furs, you get a bit of a stress and panic saying, why am I doing this? I'm not gonna make any money out of it or whatever. And every day you catch furs, okay, it's like the fun's over, great, I caught something, cha-ching. But the fun's over, now I gotta work my ass off because I don't have my stretchers ready and all that stuff. But once you start sorting all that stuff out, then everything just kind of moves really slick. Like yesterday, I skinned 2 beavers in under 2 hours. And that might not, for the guys that are really into it, they're like, what? Took you an hour and 10 minutes to skin your second beaver and 2.5 hours to skin your first beaver? And then 45 minutes to skin the third beaver? Okay, I used to be able to do a big beaver in 45 minutes with the old way I was doing it a couple of years ago. And we're talking, like I say, 80-pound beavers, 70, 80-pound beavers. I was able to skin them in an astonishing 45 minutes, you know what I mean? And we're not talking light beavers, we're talking Canadian beavers that mid-January, heavy fat, heavy gristle. Once those animals start feeding off their fat stores, man, they just turn tough. And you know, like there's all these guys always say that you know, catch your beavers early because it's hard under the ice. Well, it's not. I find it easier under the ice in some ways. It's just you got to keep busting through the ice if you have a lot of traps. That takes up a lot of time to check them. But when you trap your beavers when they're easy, the fur's not worth anything. The fur's not ready yet. Next year, I will not trap a beaver before December 15th. My goal will be, depending on when the pickup date is in January, to make my year's income from December 15th to basically January 10th. And my goal will be to catch 150 beavers minimum in that time. But it should be doable for 2 reasons. Number one, every beaver house that I'm going to want, I'm going to have all the entrances figured out throughout the summer. So all I got to do is just trap the beaver houses, right? Make life as easy as possible. And I'm going to do it that way. And then as far as the wolves and stuff like that, like next fall, I'm gonna have all my snares ready to go, and then just start piling in the beaver meat. Like late summer, just start burying little morsels here and there. I'm gonna keep a bit of bait for next year and whatever. So next year is gonna be very slick and crazy busy. This year, just get everything sorted out. Little tips and tricks, it's amazing. Just using your cutting knife on an animal when you're skinning it or fleshing it, just changing your blade angle can save you 5 minutes. Just making a different cut can save you 10 minutes. It's little things like that, and it takes a few of them to figure this out. So when you catch something, don't be overwhelmed by it. Learn from that one, but make a mental note of what took you the longest. And then the next time, try to always research a faster way to do it. There is no quick way to do it. It's all, the faster you do it, the harder you got to work, right? So just find a pace that works for you. That's, I guess, the moral of the video. All right, there we go.